Hello, hello. This is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com, bringing you another edition of Pioneer Curious. I like this hand. We are missing our Lukka, but we have one, two, three ways of finding it, plus two creatures to ramp. So this is kind of short of the Lukka, our ideal hand, and maybe we'll just find the Lukka right now. And then we'll be off to a turn three Progenitus, perhaps. Alright, perfect. Just how I drew it up, right? See what we draw here with this bitter reunion. I mean, we can pitch the Fable if we really want to dig deeper. Opponent on Island Swamp Mountain, sure. Alright, so what are we looking to do here? We control two or more of their lands. Two or few. I think that means the same thing. Oh man, I think we're gonna Sylvan Caryatid. Pass the turn. Could have bitter reunion there, but since we want all of the things in our hand short of this Fable, I think we can run out our ramp first. And then, oh, there goes our Lukka. We can now try to dig for another Lukka. Maybe they'll take the Fable. They did take the Fable. Maybe they have another Thoughtseize. Maybe they have yet to see the power of what's about to happen. Alright, so Lukka Surprise. Pioneer version. If you see my modern version, in that version we use Lukka and our mana dorks to put Emrakul the Aeon's Torn on the battlefield. So we ramp into Lukka, -2, targeting a mana dork. We don't have anything above mana costing 1, and then we get the Emrakul Aeon's Torn in its place. So I think we just are going to try to get this Lukka down. I mean, they may have another Thoughtseize, and I kind of feel like they must have another Thoughtseize because they took Fable. Maybe they just figured they wanted to get rid of our turn 3 play. What we can do is Oath and Nissa, just to dig for another Lukka, assuming this one gets taken. No. Do we really? I don't think we don't want that, do we? Man, we would have liked to have seen a land there, not the Emrakul. I don't know what the lag is here. Appears to be on my end for some reason. So yeah, we don't have Emrakul Aeon's Torn, and we're not using one mana dorks because they're so fragile. They're fragile in Modern too, but you have more of them and better. So we are instead going to use our 2 mana dorks that have hexproof or pseudo hexproof to ramp into Progenitus or Atraxa or that, as you saw, that Emrakul, which, you know, we don't get the cast trigger. So now they have counter magic up, so we can't forget about that. We're playing up against a Grixis control build, so I don't think our Lukka is going to resolve. Footfall Crater. Nor are we putting any sort of pressure on our opponent. Seems like there's just no way our opponent doesn't have a counter spell. So I think what we'll do is, we could just fire that up, right? Then they'll kill it. We're going to set up for the long game here. A little bit of the long game, I guess. Bitter Union pitching Footfall Crater. Got another bitter union. So we could just run it back, pitching this land. We do kind of want the land because this might die. Now they're going to counter that. We'll attack. I mean, this might get fatal pushed. But seeing as they're holding up counter magic, such as make disappear, we're going to have to put them on a clock in some form or pressure the life total in some form or fashion. And if they want to fatal push a mana dork, that's fine. We have another one. Maybe they'll just tap down for something. So this is a new hotness. So now they're going to take our Lukka. But maybe we'll get lucky and draw into another Lukka. Sometimes it's nice to get 2 looks at it. Thoughtseize. That would have been nice before. So yeah, around our 2 drops is we play some 1 drops, such as Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, things like that to manage the board. Let's see what they have. We really wanted to be digging Deadly Cover Up. Destroy all creatures. Okay, so I mean we hate the Fable, but this is like a silver bullet against us that will take out all of our Lukas, and then we won't be able to. That's a 4/4. This becomes a 3/2 with whenever I get a 1/1 and it's still tapped. Okay, and we can't attack through that. So yeah, we're in trouble. Our opponent, if we can find, took our 1 copy of Lukka, managed to, then we played around the counterspell that we knew they had. Now they're going to be able to refill their hand with Fable, digging for more answers. Plus they have a clock on us with Lifelink and Ward. Which I suppose we could have, since it doesn't have flying, we could have ran this out and double blocked. That might have been the right move. But instead we did not, so maybe next turn. We're kind of looking to, yeah, we had all the setup. We found our Lukka in time and everything, but we just weren't able to resolve it before they took it out of our hand. If we had cast it the turn before they cast this, they would have countered it. Another Thoughtseize. So that's likely to reveal nothing good, to be honest. We'll play this. I guess we could have gone for a combat with this, but it's a 3/2. They're gaining 4 a turn. I don't think they're that. They just would take the 2 or take the 3 and then gain 4. Now at least we can jump block. And our guys have hexproof, so they can't be killed in combat. Chose not to run up the Thoughtseize because we know they have a land and they're about to draw 2 more cards. So try to catch one of the cards they draw, like a counterspell. This is not legendary. Hopefully I'm not misreading that card, but yep. Is there follow-up another one? Did they find another one off of that? Alright, tap land. So we really want to Bitter Unions could be a bit worse card right now. Could also just swing in. We're losing the race though. I can't. Might help to tap correctly. I mean, Thoughtseize is one of our better cards against them. There's a Lukka. and we resolve a Lukka before our opponent finds a counterspell or Thoughtseize. So we'll see if we can resolve this Lukka. We're set up to cast whatever we find off of it to give it haste. So the long grindy game. Opponent's got 2 cards. Makes me think one of them's a counterspell, but you never know. Might as well just keep on attacking. We also have seen the Deadly Cover-Up, which will answer most things we find. Fable would probably bait out a counterspell, to be honest. We're going to go for it. I mean, we came here to Lukka, right? They're thinking. I mean, if they have the counterspell, they have to do it. The thing is, they may have the blow up the world spell. What do we find? Atroxa would be great. Seems like they'll be able to kill whatever we get, though. Ah, it's Progenitus. Okay, well, I mean, that's what we came to do. We came to Progenitus. We have a Progenitus. Do they have an answer? It's still a 3-turn clock, though. They have so many ways to find. At least we had a hasty Progenitus on our first game of our first match, league match. They have ways. Protection from everything. They probably play something like Shielder's Edict. Wow, that's a lot of mana. I wonder what horrible thing they're going to play. Alright, so they're going to kill our Lukka and gain a bunch of life. Race is on, though. It's still a 2-turn clock. They're not killing us anytime soon without follow-up if they can't answer this Progenitus. And we're going to run out of Fable, hopefully. Unless they Thoughtseize us. No, they're just going to copy. That's fine. I wanted to put Archangel Avacyn in this deck. I swore it was just reprinted, and it was just reprinted, but not in a Pioneer Legal format, unfortunately. We could also just hold up lands. We could attack with our lands. We have so many ways to pressure our opponent now. We already saw the Make Disappear, which is counter target spell unless the controller pays 2. Sacrifice a creature with power 1 or greater. So we could run out the Bugbear and be on a faster clock, but I think we'll just go in with Progenitus. And second main phase, everything. I mean, if they do end up destroying everything, we still have creature lands. Pays 1? Okay. I have contacts now, if you haven't noticed, and they're not perfect. So they haven't worn contacts in like 20 years. And back in the day, it was just contacts. You had to clean them every night. Now they say you can put one, they can have it so that When you look down, you've got the nearsighted version. And then when you look up, you have the far-sighted version, because I can't see up close as well, so I have these reading glasses to help me. So I might have to start wearing those. Man, there's a lag. Alright, well, Progenitus doing things. Hitting down our opponent to 10. They need to find an answer. Now they're going to counter this with make disappear, I guess. Alright, well, we ran our opponent out of cards. Hopefully they'll just top deck a land and scoop it up. Grixis control basically is what we're up against. I can't believe we've resolved what we've managed to resolve. And they scoop it up. Perfect. Just how we drew it up. So, fought through a lot of counter spells, a lot of hate. So we'll bring in the duresses. But our plan worked. Alright, so then what are they going to bring in against us? It looks like they're really just Gear Hulk Central on the back of counter magic. I think Worldspawn Worm is a good one here because when it gets blown up, we get the 5/3/3s, or 3/5/5, excuse me. You see I have Herald of Eternal Dawn to help us just not lose games. Cityscape Leveler. I'm going to bring it in, and I'm going to bring it in mostly because we saw what our opponent's playing. They have ways of blowing up the world and stealing our central piece, and so Cityscape Leveler is one of the few things we can actually cast. Go down a Footfall Crater. Go down a Torch to Tower. They didn't seem very relevant. Shieldred's Edict. I mean, we could, as an alternative to Torch to Tower, go down a Fable. I mean, I hate to take out the Progenitus, and then the Emrakul, we'll see. Could take out a Bitter Reunion. Alright, well, we brought in some more finishers, which we could actually end up drawing, and we don't want to draw. I don't know why it's thinking our alright, Address is good, Thoughtseize is good. We are missing lands, but we do have 2 ramp spells plus the Bitter Reunion and a filtered land. So, I mean, we will keep this on the back of these 2 cards. Alright, well, we could just go ahead and get the party started. Duress you. That's a lot of good stuff. We definitely want to take that Deadly Cover up at some point. And they have the Gear Hulk there. We'll take that. We can go for the Gear Hulk or the Narset next turn if we feel like it. See what we draw. Sylvan Caryatid. Thoughtseize our opponent. Did they draw a counterspell? They drew a Deduce. No, they had to Deduce. We weren't going to take that anyway. They drew an Instinction event. And they have 2 Fables and missing lands. Take the Sweeper. Alright, well, our opponent's stumbling a little bit. They kept a land light hand, it looks like, on the back of this Deduce. Gonna draw a card, digging for that magical 3rd land. They find it. Good for them. What do we find? Shieldred's Edict is good for us. We can get rid of that Narset if we want. A Bitter Reunion, pitching a Paradise Druid. We need some. There's our Lukka. Perfect. Okay, well, we're setting up. Now the key is, will we find off of our, if we resolve this Lukka, will we end up finding what we need? They have so many fables. And they have no red mana. And they don't have opponent, man, really struggling on the mana front, it looks like. Alright, that's what they have. That's not what we wanted to see. We really kind of wanted to land there. Especially because Wormspine Worm, Worldspine Worm is 11 mana. There's no way we're ever casting 11 mana. So if we draw an untapped land, they're going to cast this Oil Jeep Gearhulk, I imagine. Because, you know, why not? They're going to take our Lukka. They could take this. You know you want to take the Worldspine Worm, dude. They might just take the Edict and hope we don't draw a land. But they got to take the Lukka. They seen what happened. They seen the plan, right? And we drew another Shielder's Edict. We would love just to hit a land, please. Land off the top. Alright. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Each opponent sacrifices a non-creature of their choice. Wait. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature of their choice. There we go. Got it? Pretty sure I got it right that time. Alright, well, we're again hoping to find a Lukka or some way to... they're going to eventually draw red mana. We stumbled ourselves a little bit on... mana, and that's one reason they were able to do what they did. Now, the thing about this Narset is it doesn't get them lands, it just gets them spells. So they're looking for Path of Peril. Destroy all creatures with mana value 2 or less. That's probably what they're going to do. Yeah, so now we're kind of back to the Stone Age right now. We would love to draw something like a Fable. Not a Cityscape Leveler. That's another one of our finishers. I mean, we're going to have to... I think... Hold on, let me just read this. Yep. We're going to have to cast this. And just say go. I mean, we're drawing the wrong half of our deck, too. Again, we were in a position to do what we wanted to do had our opponent not been able to interact, but they were able to find a sweeper. They had we knew about the Oil Deep. We ended up having to take a sweeper out of their hand instead. They're desperate for red. There's our Fable. Dude, they must have counterspells, though. They have to have something, right? They have 2 Fables, but what I mean, they must have another counterspell. And that's our best draw, so we're going to take it again. Short of just... Well, we kind of need it all, right? We're a combo deck with none of our pieces. We have our finishers in our hand. 2 of them, at least. Let's run it back. We can't even cast the Lukka currently because we don't have a second red source. So we will definitely need the... Well, that's a token, right? That's something we can target with Lukka. We're going to need this treasure or Nothanissa or something to help us get out this Lukka. If they hadn't been able to wipe the board of our mana dorks, we would be pretty close to casting this Cityscape Leveler. So we're going to put both of those back. Shuffle that back in. Duress our opponent. Then when they have 4 fables now. Change the equation. Counter target spell with mana value 2 or less. Okay. They probably have another sweeper too. 1. Was 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, I think we're going to go for it. And hope that they don't have a sweeper. The sweet beauty of what's about to happen if things go the way we want is we can copy the Cityscape Leveler with Kiki Jiki, but they're about to take it, it looks like. Or they're going to wipe the board. Man, the Cityscape Leveler is just so much mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, we can cast the next turn. Maybe they're just going to play... No, they're going to take our Lukka. That's what we were worried about. But it's also why we brought in the Cityscape Leveler. And I don't understand why my time is going so quickly. I know that there's been a lag. So they know about the Cityscape Leveler now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're going to want to find an answer. They're not going to want to commit anything to the board as long as we're threatening to cast that. Or they're going to want to find an answer first. Narset's probably one of the things they don't mind putting to the board because it pains me, but I mean we got to try to play to our most powerful outs. We no longer have a Lukka, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I mean, our best out is to resolve this Cityscape Leveler and then start copying it. And then I think they just fold. And they're still missing red mana after all this time. I mean, if we actually resolve the Cityscape Leveler, I will be flabbergasted because we will have dodged counter magic. We will have dodged hand disruption. There's their red source. There it is. And we found a land. We don't even have a good target. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Could have sandbagged that land, probably 8. But we're going for it. Choose up the one target. Do we have to? No, I'm about to say, hopefully we don't have to target. The main reason to do this is just hopefully they don't have an exile effect. We already saw the extinction event. Is we can unearth it for 8 mana. So if we end up drawing another land, we can unearth it. And if for some reason they don't have answers, we can copy it and swing for lethal next turn. It's hard to imagine they don't have some kind of sweeper. I mean, it could just be, who knows? You think Aether Gusts? Maybe, I don't know. Just baffling. Wow, okay. They scooped it up. They did not find an answer. They knew that if they cast a Fable, they would have a 2/2 blocker, but that we could then copy and trample through for 14, or really just destroy it on attack triggers. Opponent woefully unlucky without that red source. Kept, man, what hand? They must have kept a 1 or 2 lander with a deduce. And then a Fable, but they couldn't find the red source, and I didn't pay very close attention. I took what I thought was most important, but I should have paid more attention to that sooner. We fought through, so we ended up taking the deadly cover up, and then they drew another sweeper that we took. So they ended up getting they got their Narset Oil Deep. They took our Lukka. They then took all of our Lukkas. Fought through removal, but a lot of the removal didn't line up that well against us. Aether Gust, we were able to recast that Fable. Shieldred's Edict, again, picking what we wanted to sack. And we chose the Caryatid, which again was the right play. It gave us the ability to copy this and swing in for lethal. But yeah, fighting through the hate, deadly cover up, taking our combo piece. We brought in Cityscape Leveler precisely because it was something we could cast from our hand. And it worked out just how we drew it up. And then look, we found some more ways of digging for pieces. But pretty exciting for CyclesGaming.com. This is Johnny Cycles. I'll catch y'all in the next one.
Another edition of Pioneer Curious. Thanks for watching. This is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com. If you haven't already, please check out my website where you can read about my various commander brews, watch gameplay of my modern jank, and read my science fiction fantasy novel, The Podkind, that I'm publishing serially. And if you enjoy my content, please check me out on YouTube, Johnny Cycles. Click that subscribe button. Everybody counts. As always, thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all on the next one.